record, the track just kind of got its own life. It just kind of, people just really connected with it, and we were just like, we don't know what's going on. We actually didn't know, and I still, to this day, we actually don't know what happened in those 2-3 years in the beginning. All we know is that we made a record and it took us around the world.
I'll tell you what, we'll have a little battle between the singer and the rapper.
I seen you dancing around with the girl in your vid, pouting at the camera, smiling with the cheesiest grin.
I just thought, all right, I'm gonna rip myself big time here.
It's gotta hurt when you're even getting dissed in your own forum.
And obviously the singer's gonna come back and say, listen, you don't know all the facts.
Well, I guess it must have helped a bit. The fact that everything now has an Asian twist, including music, I guess we call it then. I'm surprised that Simon Cowell hadn't thought of it.
This is for the tone, 2005 in its own. That look is back in his own. Smooth tongue, son of a gun, lyrical one, done, son. Ripping the mic for fun, some MCs get done, son. Even Haagen-Dazs ain't got my flavor. It's Jay Sean, but call me Tony Blair, cause I could put the girls in labor. Yo, is they confused? Yo, I gotta hand it to you. Hold up, cut the beat a minute. You all don't understand me, do you?
That's crazy.
What's it like? What's it like seeing that? What does that do to you?
I just think, why was it so spiky? At least I could have had... You know what I mean? At least, like, trim it down a bit. That was crazy.
When you
and the hat, what was that?
That was a style back then. That was all right. It still looks good.
Nah, that's crazy, man. For me to see that... I mean, honestly, you got to remember, like, I don't even know how many shows I've done now. I don't know how many countries I've been to. And it's been 9 years of intense all around the world. And you know, 3 or 4 of them was with Rish and Jugs. And that, for us, was the... You're so right, Rish, when he said we didn't know what was happening. We didn't know. We were so fresh-faced. We were naive. I remember the first time when me and Juggy... I actually remember the first time I ever performed on stage was in Southwark Park with these guys. And I did 9 autographs. 9! And I remember, because I came home and I went, I did 9 autographs. I don't even know what my signature is yet. I, like, made it up. But for me, it was an amazing thing that somebody cared enough that when they wanted to meet you, they wanted to take something home to prove that they met you. And I couldn't get my head around that. And then we went and we did store signings and the song came out. No, I'm gonna tell them the story, this is hilarious. So when Dance With You actually came out, me, Jugs and Rish had no idea of how big it was, whether people even cared, whether anybody was gonna buy it. Because remember, it didn't really get any radio apart from Asian Network played it, but it didn't get mainstream radio. We went in a car to Hounslow Treaty Centre. And on the way there, we were winding down the windows going, Dance With You out today, buy it! Buy it, Jay Sean, buy it today! And we were doing this, and then we were out there flying. Remember, we were flying for our own song in the Treaty Centre, but we got mobbed. No, I think people kind of know who we are here. It was an amazing thing.
Rishi, what's it like seeing him now when you consider everything that he's achieved?
It's an amazing thing, you know. For me, obviously, meeting Jay, I think, what was it, 8 years ago?
9
years ago.
10 maybe when we met.
Maybe 10 years ago, yeah. And he walked into the studio and he goes, I just want to sing. And I remember he was wearing this really dodgy shirt.
Amazing shirt.
Yeah. And we just started working together, and I just knew he was a star. And it was just an amazing experience that we actually all 3 of us had.
Juggy D, are you proud of him as well? Juggy's
absolutely, absolutely. It's crazy, you know. Just watching those videos it just takes you back, and it's quite funny because I was in the last couple of days just doing some interviews and reminiscing our old times and writing about the things that we've done together and the mad, like, you know, the mad clips that we did. Forget the real live shows, the barbershops and all that, you know, which people must have seen.
Whoa, what happened in the barbershop?
We used to have these characters, like, you know, we actually went a bit mad being on the road together.
Rishi is Pali.
Rishi Pali. Rish Pali. Pali.
Therefore, I became Lali.
Yeah.
He's Gronky.
Mine was Gronky.
And I'm his donkey.
Yeah.
Tell me what we're doing. Yeah, this is what Dance With You. Okay, so now he comes on. No. Oh, you... yeah, you can play.
Yeah, what, live?
Is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem.
There's no keys, but there's no...
output.
If it's alright with you, then it's alright with me. So get your coat, tonight you're leaving with me. Now I got you. Oh! Tell me what's on your mind. Shall we continue moving on? We're heading to my home. We'll take it nice and slow. And I can show you what it is I wanna do.
just wanna dance with you. I just wanna just want you next to me. A little taste of ecstasy. Tomorrow you be texting me. You know it's true. Good if you just roll with me. And baby, get to know with me. If you want, maybe you can come on home with me. And we can do whatever you wanna do. I just wanna dance with you.
Big up to my boy Jay Sean all the time. One love.
Give it up for my boy Juggy D.
I'm talking about 9 years ago. Something very special happened.
That's right.
Cause this guy right here was playing keys like this, and I was freestyling, and we made something out of nothing, something out of nothing. Oh, did it all in the journal. Oh, man, I did it all in the journal. So I just wanna dance with you. Oh, man, I did it all in the journal, the journal, the journal, the journal. 9 years, people.
You know, you learn a lot through trial and error. I think the first album that I did, Me Against Myself, I think it actually goes the opposite. I did it the opposite way to how most people say. Most people say you got your whole life to write your first album. So your first album is usually your biggest and the best. For me, I was learning the ropes. You got to remember, I had roots in hip hop. I didn't know I didn't know what I was doing really. I got signed off of Raw Talent, but it took me a while to understand hit music. It took me a while to understand what's connecting. And the way I found that out was when I used to go on the road and do shows, and I'd play songs off my album, but I'd see what the audience was connecting with, and I'd see what they're singing along with. Then I'd go back in the studio, and I'm like, there's something's going on here. They like certain songs more than others. And so therefore, like, through trial and error, I think you start to learn what A, people like, and B, who you are as an artist. And I think I really, really discovered myself as an artist when I did Ride It. And from then on, those periods was when I really discovered who I was as an artist and who I wanted to be.
Just lose control. Ride it, come touch my soul. Ride it, and lady, let me feel you. Ride it, turn the lights down low. Ride it, from head to toe. Ride it, come touch my soul. Ride it, lady, let me feel you. Rita was the club on Saturday. You're acting like a diva, saying you don't wanna play. It's gotta be a feisty style. Raise that high. You see, I love it when you look at me that way, and now we're in your order on the heater when you love. Reapply your lip because it came off on the gloss. The DJ played your song, and now you're begging me for me to die.